What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So yesterday we did our very first NBA 2K24 rebuild, that being with the Portland Trail Blazers, and today we're traveling over to the Eastern Conference talking about the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, the Hornets had a very interesting offseason, especially when they took Brandon Miller with the second overall pick, when a lot of people wanted them to take Scoots. Let's just go ahead, jump in, and do the Charlotte Hornets rebuild in NBA 2K24. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 40,000 subs, and the goal is to reach that before this year is over, so that'd be amazing. Go ahead and hit that sub button if you're new around here. Now, I will say I just got done watching Lions Chiefs. That was a very interesting game, but just had to get that out of the way. Regardless, how about the Charlotte Hornets, man? So yeah, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, who was their second overall pick, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, who they just literally re-signed not that long ago, so it's good that we actually have some clarity on his situation. Mark Williams, Nick Richards, Cody Martin, Frank Ntilikina, Nick Smith Jr., Bryce McGowan, JT Thor, James Bouknight, Kai Jones. So not a bad roster, but of course it's nothing special either. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done for this Hornets team. So right now, this is what they want to run: LaMelo Ball, Rozier, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Nick Richards. The only thing I disagree with here is I am going to go ahead and start Mark Williams. I think Mark Williams deserves to start over Nick Richards. I want to go ahead and have Mark Williams develop as much as possible. I do want to try to trade away Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward in this video as well, although Gordon Hayward's expiring, so we'll probably just let him walk in the offseason. We'll not re-sign him. Rozier, on the other hand, he has like a couple years left in his deal, so we're going to try to move on from him. Maybe at the deadline, we shall see. And obviously, the bigger thing is we need to develop Brandon Miller. Next, LaMelo Ball, because if you took Brandon Miller over Scoot, which a lot of people wanted them to do, we got to make sure Brandon Miller is very good so people quickly forget about that decision, and we'll have to figure out what Miles Bridges wants to do going forward. If he wants to stay here or not, we shall see. Let's go ahead and simulate year number one. There is a good chance we do stop the trade deadline, but if we don't, I will show you if we do stop, of course, like I usually do. But if we don't, I'll see you guys at the end of year one. Boys, it's that time of the year. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to choose overs or unders on the favorite players you love watching. So it basically makes the game you're watching just even more fun. Basically, how it works, it's available on mobile or desktop. They pretty much have every sport you can imagine. They have esports, tennis, cricket. Literally think of it, they most likely have it. And this is what it looks like when you open it up. So basically, you get to choose overs or unders on any stat you can really imagine. They have interceptions, kicking points, and of course, when the NBA comes back around, they'll have stuff on that, like rebounds, points, rebounds, combos. They have all kinds of stuff. But right now, PrizePicks actually has a discount of Dak Prescott for week one, half a passing yard. So if you've not signed up on PrizePicks, go ahead and take advantage of this discount right now. My link is down in the description below. Use code Crushables. They're going to match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. So use that link to sign up for PrizePicks. And a tool I'm going to be using for when I play PrizePicks this year is going to be DGF Fantasy's Optimizer tool. They basically do the math for you, and they tell you what is good and what is profitable long term. So we're looking right now, of course, Dak's over half a passing yard is obviously most likely going to work out for you. And then they got Marvin Jones here. And of course, this is only going to keep getting better as we get closer to the NFL regular season. So if you want to go ahead and try this out and not even have to think about what you're going to play on, I have that down in the description below as well if you want to go ahead and sign up for that. But thank you to PrizePicks and DGF Fantasy for sponsoring today's video. So the first trade we're looking at here in this video, here at the trade deadline, we're looking into trading for Lonzo Ball. Now, he's obviously injured in real life, doesn't expect to play this year. He could come to Charlotte and rehab. I've done this idea in the past, but it definitely makes a ton of sense here, where we could re-sign Lonzo Ball in the offseason and have LaMelo and Lonzo as the backcourt of the future. I think that could be a lot of fun. Now, I don't love trading a first-round pick, but I guess if Lonzo is theoretically playing this season, then I guess we can. But of course, in real life, he's not going to play, but I'm going to try to get out of this trade without trading a first-round pick if possible. Like, I'm okay with giving up on James Bouknight at this point. Obviously, he's never really going to turn into anything for us, I don't think. Do you give me maybe Julian Phillips in return? I guess they can't even do that. So, apparently we can't do this trade. So, let's just see if they still want that first-round pick. So, yeah, they're going to want that 2027 unprotected. I will give you maybe Cody Martin, and then you could give me Phillips. Oh, they still can't take that. 3 more. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Okay, I'll have to give him someone cheap. Let's say I gave him Frank Ntilikina, and then you give me Phil. I don't think that's gonna change anything, right? And they want Book. Okay, no, this actually is the trade we're gonna do. We don't even have to trade a first round pick. So we're trading Rozier over to the Chicago Bulls. We also trade Frank Ntilikina, James Bouknight in a second Phillips and Terry Taylor will come back to us, but Lonzo Ball will come over to Charlotte. And of course, in real life, in this hypothetical, or like, in, you know, he's obviously injured in real life, and he could come over to Charlotte and rehab for the rest of the year while the Bulls get themselves a win now point guard, as they're still trying to win in Chicago. Whether or not that's the right decision or not, no, that obviously is up to you. I am under the I'm under the opinion that the Bulls probably should have just blown it up, but whatever, they're not doing it, it sounds like. So, although we're gonna let Lonzo Ball play this season, I have roster injuries on, but yeah, he came healthy, I guess. So, or he's healthy in the simulation, which is fine by me. But one other thing I need to fix still, they still want to start Nick Richards. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to make him a non-starter, although I don't really want to do that if Mr. Mark Williams is going to get hurt. So, I don't know. We'll just do it anyway. So, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just fix it like this and just hope that that'll stay the same. I'll just have to rebuild the rotations once there's an injury. So, do something like that, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. We got Lonzo Ball and LaMelo to start this video. That's fun. So at the end of year one, Joel Embiid wins MVP. Vic is your rookie of the year. Chris Paul, sixth man on the Warriors, Giannis defensive player, and Paul Reed most improved. And Stephen Curry, clutch player of the year. And Nick Nurse is your coach of the year. Here's Joel Embiid first team. I can't imagine we have anybody representing, but LaMelo might eventually represent one of these. We shall see. Lonzo makes an all-offense first team, so that's cool to see. And then nothing going on there. But all rookies, we get Brandon Miller does make all-rookie first team. Didn't think I saw his name for a second, but he did make it. And Asar Thompson is the only one on the all-rookie second team. Not sure why there's not an all-rookie second team filled out, but whatever. We did not make the playoffs for the plan. Not too surprising. We just aren't good enough at this point. But right now, yeah, 23 from Melo, 17 from Brandon Miller, 16 from Miles Bridges, 13 from Gordon Hayward, 11.5 from Lonzo Ball, and 11 from PJ Washington. So we're not going to re-sign Gordon Hayward under any circumstance. We will not be bringing him back. Lonzo is obviously a free agent. We're going to re-sign him after we traded for him, and then obviously we're just going to have to bank. And then Miles Bridges, we're definitely going to have to see what, you know, we can do with him. He is up to a 79 overall, so we'll see if he's worth the money he's asking for. But let's go ahead and see who wins the championship this season in year number one here. So we have the 76ers. They're going to lose to the Heat. The Heat are going to go all the way to the finals to play the Clippers. Keep in mind, the Heat in this scenario don't even have Damian Lillard yet, so let's see if they go on to win. And they are going to go win the championship. Who needs Damian Lillard when you have Jimmy Butler? So, yeah, they don't need him. As far as retirements are concerned, they got Udonis Haslem retiring, even though he technically retired last year, whatever. Draft lottery, let's go ahead and see if lottery luck is going to be on our side. So, obviously, our pick is protected. It goes to the Spurs, but let's see if we get some luck here. So, it is going to drop to the 4th overall pick, which kind of sucks, but we do actually have a real draft. Wow, Mavericks got number 1, by the way. That's crazy. But we got the 4th overall pick, and Joe DeKelmer has put in some prospects. So unlike yesterday's video where we had no real life prospects, today we do have some, which is nice. So I'm going to fill out this coaching staff. I will see you guys on draft night with who we take with the 4th overall selection. So far on draft night, we got Mara going number 1 over to the Dallas Mavericks. Collier goes to the Timberwolves, and DJ Wagner goes to the San Antonio Spurs. So the Spurs got themselves a point guard next to Vic. All right, what do we want? I think Ron Holland's the pick here. I think he makes a ton of sense. Or Buzelis. Either way. Which one do I want, though, is the question. Do I want Ron Holland or Matisse Buzelis, or however you say his name? Obviously, I think the most expendable position right now is the power forward spot. You know what? I am going to go ahead and I guess we could take a look at the scouting report. So, Glenn Rice, all-star, floor starter. What about, I mean, I'm kind of debating between one of these guys. So, kind of the same thing. Don't really know what he did in college. And then I think I'm going to take Buzelis, though. I think I'm going to take Buzelis. Welcome to the team, Buzelis, out of high school. Welcome in. So he is going to be a 77 overall. Ron Hall would have been a 78, so I guess we could have taken the better player by 1 overall, but it's fine. Rookie signing, we might even be able to move him to the 4. He might even go up. We shall see. Lonzo Ball is going to decline his player option. I think in real life, he's easily accepting that, but in 2K in this scenario, is going to decline it. Qualifying offers, nothing going on there. And then free agency, of course. One free agent is Gordon Hayward. We have no plans of bringing him back. Now, Miles Bridges is a different question. Do we want to bring him back? Just average 16 points per game. Do we want to just go ahead and give the keys to our rookie that we just drafted? Or do we want to bring back Miles Bridges? I'm definitely... Let's see. If I move Buzelis to the 4, he actually goes down, surprisingly, which kind of is unfortunate. But I think I'm going to have to play him at the 4. I mean, I think I wouldn't mind moving on from Miles Bridges. It sounded like he didn't even want to be in Charlotte anymore. There was a report that he asked to be released, so not really sure how true that one was. But LaMelo and then his qualifying offer to be rescinded is the right term. But Miller and then PJ Washington, Buzelis. Although technically speaking, we'd have Buzelis come off the bench at the 3 if we want to do something like that and bring back Miles Bridges. And then we still have the center position locked down. So I think we go ahead and resign Miles Bridges and Lonzo if we can. So Miles Bridges, I'm going to go ahead and give him a deal. But if I can't bring back Lonzo, I think I'd rather have Lonzo back than Miles Bridges, to be completely honest. So let's go ahead and sign. Wow, Lonzo wants an absolute bag. That's pretty crazy. So we're going to offer both of these guys. I don't even know if it's going to let me sign both of them or not. It may not let me. And actually, we can get both of them. So we got both of them back, which is exactly what I wanted. So we got that taken care of. So now we have Lonzo and LaMelo in the backcourt together here in Charlotte. I'm going to move LaMelo to the 2. We're going to fix secondary positions here in a second. But now, starting 5 would be Lonzo, LaMelo, Bryce McGowan is the backup 2 for now. Nick Smith Jr. Probably should have sent him to the G League. Totally forgot to do something like that, but it's all good. I am going to go ahead and move Buzelis back to the 3. I always have a habit of going up for some reason. I keep doing it on accident, so apologies there. But I'm going to move him back to the 3. Again, I'll fix secondary positions in a second. And I think I want to sign a backup guard just to be on the safe side, because I don't know how much McGowan's Nick Smith will develop. So I'm going to sign a point guard. So we have John Wall. We have Peyton Pritchard down here. I'm going to give Peyton Pritchard a deal. He's solid depth. We'll bring him in. So we're just going to kind of rely on development here. We got Lonzo and Miles back. Could also bring back Gordon Hayward, but I have no interest. So let's go to player progression and see what we're looking at as far as progression is concerned. So we have LaMelo up to an 88, Lonzo up to an 84, Brandon Miller up to an 82, Miles Bridges up to an 81, Mark Williams up to a 79, Nick Richards is up, and then Cody Martin is up, and so is Nick Smith Jr., which is great. But none of these guys are ready to play those backup guard minutes just yet. Not quite. But I do want to fix those secondary positions, as I said. So let's go ahead and do that here really quickly. So we're going to have, obviously, the LaMelo secondary position to be point guard. And then we'll have that taken. That'll look good. And then we're going to have, I'm going to do this power forward secondary position. And then is there anyone else that needs one? Nick Richards. I'd only really want him playing center, not power forward, to be honest with you. And then Nick Smith Jr., that's fine. So yeah, same thing for Mark Williams. I don't really want him out there playing the 4. So let's get into next season. I feel pretty good about how progression looked. I think there is a chance, smidge of a chance, that we could be a play-in team next year. I definitely think it's a possibility with how good this roster looked. Now, I have no idea if Joda has any of the 2025 prospects in. It looks like he might have Cooper Flagg in there, which I guess that's the one guy we would care about if we somehow got lucky enough. We need to cut one of our players on our roster right now, and that is going to go to Mr. probably Kai Jones, to be honest with you. Hasn't really been able to do too much here. There was a video on Twitter that I saw about him. I didn't even watch it, but I know a lot of people are freaking out about it. So I'm going to go ahead and release him, though. We're not bringing him back, and then let's get straight into the rotation. So proficiency under Steve Clifford, which honestly, I should have fired Steve Clifford. I kind of overlooked that, to be honest with you, but whatever, we'll keep him. We're a 4-star pace and space under him, but here's your rotation. So Lonzo, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Buzelis, PJ Washington, Nick Richards, Cody Martin's actually not looking too shabby. I think I am going to go ahead and sing Nick Smith Jr. to the G League, though. That way he can maybe play a huge pivotal role next year. I guess our roster isn't full yet because I can't send him to the G League right now. Unless if I accidentally turn on G League, which is very possible, or turned off G League, which is very, yeah, because our roster's full. So I probably accidentally turned off G League. So I wouldn't have been able to do that in the beginning anyway. So that's my bad. I will not do that in the next video. But I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. I don't plan on stopping the deadline, but if I do, I'll show you. So at the end of year 2, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Collier is your rookie of the year. Chris Paul, 6th man, Giannis defensive player, and Cade Cunningham wins most improved. And Damian Lillard is your clutch player of the year, still on the Portland Trailblazers. Free the man, right? But Luka Doncic, John Morant, Jokic, Joel Embiid, and Shea, all NBA second team, all NBA third team, and I don't believe we have any. Oh, no, LaMelo made it. I literally overlooked that. So LaMelo made one, which is cool. And Lonzo also made all offensive first team, so he's still doing his thing over there in Charlotte. So we are the 10th seed in the East. We actually made the play-in. We went 40 and 42. We did have some injuries here and there. But LaMelo averaged 27 and 8. 20 from Brandon Miller, which is nice to see in his sophomore year. 16 from Miles Bridges, 14.5 from Lonzo, 11 from Buzelis, and then 11 from PJ Washington, 10 from Mark Williams, and then 6 from Nick Richards, and then also 6 from Bryce McGowan. So let's go ahead and see if we can knock off the Milwaukee Bucks and maybe take them down and get into the play-in. Let's see. Can we do, or to the second leg, I should say. And now I get to play the Toronto Raptors, get a chance at making the playoffs to go play the Detroit Pistons in round 1, which I think we could give them a little bit of a run. We shall see how that goes, but let's see if we can beat the Raptors first and foremost. We got a 1-game format in this play-in style tournament, and are we going to beat them? Right now we've had to lead the whole game, but that could change in the glimpse of a second, and we are going to win this one. We get into the playoffs as LaMelo and Lonzo led the way, and now we play the Detroit Pistons. So Pistons have Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Bojan, Marvin Bagley, Jalen Duren, James Wiseman, Asar Thompson, Joshua Prima, Alex Sarr, Isaiah Livers, and Randolph Griffin. Now, I'm not saying we're going to win this series, but I think there's a chance we can give the Pistons some problems. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Game 1, we're down 1-0, 125 to 116. Brandon Miller with 30, does not matter. Game 2, we evened it up just like that. I told you, I think we could give them some issues. 26 from Brandon Miller, 25 and 24. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. Are we about to eliminate the first seed? We did. Just like that, we've eliminated the first seed in the Eastern Conference. And Buzelis breaks his hand. That's tough. That's a tough break. But now we get to play the Boston Celtics, who have Brogdon, Brown, Tatum, Kristaps, Robert Williams, Derek White, Al Horford, Gordon Hayward. So Gordon Hayward went back to Boston. Alana Band to Edmund Sumner. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if we can beat the Celtics. I think beating the Pistons was another realm of possibility. But beating the Celtics, that could be a lot tougher. So game 1, we're down 1-0. Game 2, we're down 2-0. Actually, we won game 3. Game 4, we're going to even it up. Maybe not. Maybe we're not as done as I thought we were. Can we maybe win game 5 to make things really interesting here? Let's see if we can. I want to give more minutes to Brandon Miller now, so let's do that. And I thought whatever. Regardless, let's see if we can win game 5 in Boston. That would be huge for us. So, right now, we're not out of it. We're in striking distance, but it looks like Boston's going to take this one. So, they are going to take it. 105 to 132. Let's listen to what 2K has to suggest for us. They want to start Nick Richards again. We've been going back and forth between him and Mark Williams. Let's see if we can win game 6 to force a game 7 back to TD Garden. We have the lead right now. Boston's going to take it back, though. We take it back. And now it looks like we're running away with it, unless we're about to let them get it back, which is very possible. It's a very, very close game down the stretch. They take it. They're starting to run with it. Do we take it back at the end? We do. Do we hang on? And we are going to barely lose 134 to 133. But that tells me that we are ready, man. We are not just some team. We may have been in the play-in tournament, but we almost pushed the contending Celtics to the limit. And then Luka and Garland are your finals MVP in the conferences. And you're going to have the Cavaliers going to beat them in 5. Now, do we make a big move or do we run it back? I mean, because we have some assets that we can go ahead and make a big move if we really do want to. Now, the Spurs are going to have our draft pick since we made the playoffs. It goes to them at pick number 16. But they also get the number 1 overall pick. So far, San Antonio has not been doing very well with Victor Wembanyama over there. But, I mean, Steve Clifford, I don't think I really have a justification to fire the man. But we do have some good candidates out here in a way. But, again, we almost were able to force a Game 7 to the Boston Celtics. So I'm not going to fire him after that performance. So I think we just have to kind of ask ourselves, do we want to just run it back or do we want to maybe trade Miles Bridges and go for an upgrade? Because that would be the one position I'm looking at right now that I feel like, hey, we trade away Miles Bridges and get an upgrade there. That might be worth it. I don't know who I'm going to be looking at in particular, but it may be something we can ask ourselves. I don't know. Although Miles Bridges has been in Charlotte his whole career, so it may not be the best idea, and he just had a solid season for us, 16 points per game. It's definitely something I'm considering. Do we have a draft pick at all? I don't believe we do, right? So let's make sure we don't have a draft pick before I go any further. Pretty sure we don't. And we have a second round pick. But we have our pick in 2026, pick in 2027, and then that's about it. So we don't own anybody's future first. That Clippers pick is a second. So yeah, we need to figure out, are we making a big trade here? Or are we just running it back? That's what I'm going to go ask myself when I look around the league really quick. So I have the trade idea in mind on what I'm going to try to do. And I think this trade makes a ton of sense for both sides as well. So this team just won the championship, but Jarrett Allen is on the last year of his deal. If we get Jarrett Allen as our starting 5 going forward, I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Just came off a year averaging 15 and 12 and 1.6 blocks per game. So what I'm going to do is I'm willing to swap Jarrett Allen for Miles Bridges. Now, Garland and Miles Bridges are actually really close in real life, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, which is why I think this trade could make sense where the Cavaliers move Evan Mobley to the 5 and we do kind of like a swap Miles Bridges for Jarrett Allen. I'd even be willing to throw them like Nick Richards as well because I can have Mark Williams play the backup 5 to Jarrett Allen. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here, and that's kind of what I'm trying to aim for. So I'm going to go ahead and be willing. I'm going to throw Julian Phillips in here as well. Let's see what they say to this. So they are not going to agree to it right away. That's fair enough. I'll give you, I can't trade that one. Let's trade a 2027 pick, unprotected. I'm okay with it because I think we're ready to take that next jump. So let's see if they say yes to this. They're still not going to agree to it, but I really want Jarrett Allen on the team. So I'm also going to throw Bryce McGowan's and a second round pick in this draft. What do you say? They agree. We get Jarrett Allen on the Charlotte Hornets. So just like that, We did that because we get a huge upgrade at the center spot, and I feel like we can have Buzelis play that 4 spot and he would be just fine, which is why we also did it. So that's basically the game plan we're going with. I think getting the upgrade at the 5 spot, allowing Brandon Miller, Lonzo, and LaMelo to be the scorers and not really so much focus on Miles Bridges, I think that was definitely worth it, and hopefully it'll work out for me. So on draft night, we're no longer going to have a pick. Did we give up a lot? Absolutely, but I think in the long run, it's going to be absolutely worth it. So Brandon Miller, Mark Williams, Nick Smith Jr., we're bringing them all back. Qualifying offers, got nothing going on there. And then free agency, I can't imagine we have JT Thor as a free agent. I can't imagine we can sign anybody. I guess we can sign someone, but what do we need the most if we were going to? So Lonzo, Peyton Pritchard, and then Nick Smith Jr. I don't know if I can still rely on Nick Smith Jr. to jump up. I think he will. He's a 74 at this point. I'm assuming he'll be a 76 at the very least next year, but maybe I can't bank on that. Buzelis, hopefully he'll go up as well because we're banking on him probably starting this next season. We could also sign a power forward if we don't feel comfortable with that, so let's see. Trey Lyles, Marvin Bagley. To be honest with you, there's really no one here that I'm like, okay, I'll just start them and feel good. So yeah, I think we're banking on Buzelis no matter what, unfortunately. So it's not really unfortunately, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So I think I want to go ahead and sign a guard for the insurance just because I don't know how I feel about my guard spot. So right now, Terrence Mann, Delano Banton. I think we signed Terrence Mann. Melton is also an option, but or Isaiah Joe. You never have enough shooting. So I'm going to give me Isaiah Joe. Give me Isaiah Joe. We're going to sign Isaiah Joe, and we'll have him play that backup too. And if Nick Smith jumps up, we'll move him to the backup point guard. So we'll sign Isaiah Joe, and then we're going to see what player progression is looking like for us. I'm hoping it looks just absolutely beautiful because we made this big trade with Miles Bridges to get Jarrett Allen. Hopefully Buzelis is going to go up. Brandon Miller is up. Everyone's just jumping up. Let's see. So Buzelis is up to an 80 overall. Now I do have to move him to the 4s. He's probably going to drop back down, unfortunately. But Brandon Miller's up to an 86. Mark Williams up to an 81. Nick Smith's up to a 75, which is good enough. Now, if I moved him to point guard, would he go up to a 76? He goes down. Wow, that's unfortunate. Okay, so what if I moved Isaiah Joe? Can't move to point. Yeah, so we can't do that. So they're both got to be listed at the 2. Now Buzelis, as I said, we're moving him to the 4. He's going to go down in overall, which really sucks, but I think it's going to be for the best. So let's fix the secondary positions again. Mark Williams going to leave. Buzelis, you're going to play some small forward, and then Jarrett Allen, we're going to leave you as well. And then, yeah, that looks good. All right, let's go into next season, and let's see if we can maybe go all the way to the finals. I think Jarrett Allen was a great upgrade. I don't know if we're ready for that step. We took the Celtics the distance, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I would love to see if we can maybe do that again because we went from the plan to doing that. So I guess this year, what I would want to see us actually like bona fidely make the playoffs and like no debate. We don't even have to fight from the plan. So Parkin's going to last at 7th under, Steve Clifford is still really good, pace and space. So rotation, if we look at it, I'm in rotation. Lonzo, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, PJ Washington's going to start at the 4. So they actually want to start PJ Washington. I'm not opposed to it. I guess that's fine. Jarrett Allen, Mark Williams, Buzelis, Isaiah Joe, Nick Smith Jr., then Cody Martin Pritchard if we need them for minutes. We also have John Wall down there, so shout out to John Wall. But let's go ahead, simulate this season. If things aren't going great, maybe I stop at the deadline, but I'm hoping there's no need to, and we're just going to be really good. Year number 3 comes to an end, and our goal was achieved. And wow, the Spurs have Cooper, Flag, and Vic. That's pretty nasty, but as I was saying, our goal was achieved. We made the playoffs, and Brandon Miller also wins most improved player. He's shooting almost 50, 40, 90. Very close, not quite, but 24, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, almost 2 steals. But we are a bona fide playoff team, which is what I wanted. LaMelo makes All-NBA second team. Do we get like our Brandon Miller here? Because he put up some good numbers, but nah, we do not have that, unfortunately. And then, yeah, as I said, though, we're the 3rd seed, or we're the 4th seed. Sorry, not 3rd seed, but 4th seed in the East. Take a look at the player stats. 27 from LaMelo, 25 from Brandon Miller, 13 and 11 from Jarrett Allen, almost 2 blocks. Actually, technically, it was almost 1 block, or just 1.4, so not really almost 2. But Buzelis up to, 13 points per game, 79 overall, 12.5 from Lonzo, and then 8 assists on top of that. Mark Williams, 11.9 and a block, and then 8 from Isaiah Joe, 8 from Nick Smith, and 7 from PJ Washington. We draw the Orlando Magic in round 1, so let's see what we're going to look like going into this one. So they actually want to start Matisse Buzelis, which is fantastic. So let's see if we can take down the Magic and get to round 2 for a second year in a row. Now, the Magic have added OG to the squad. The roster actually looks pretty damn good. Not even gonna lie. So this could be a tough one, but here goes nothing. Game 1, we're down 1-0, lose by 2. We even it up though, 145 to 103. Brandon Miller with 37 in that one. Game 3, Jarrett Allen is out 6 to 8 weeks. That might be all. I mean, we still have Mark Williams, so maybe we can still win this one. And we're going to go down 3-2. So, all right, Jarrett Allen getting hurt, and then now Isaiah Joe's getting hurt. That's awesome. All right, can we win game 6 to force a game 7? Maybe we can still do this. We shall see. It's going to be a close one in this one. Maybe we take at the very end, and we are going to go to OT, and we're going to fall short. We lose to the Magic in round 1. So, going from round 2 to pushing the Celtics to the absolute limit to getting eliminated in round 1 by the Magic is tough. Collier wins 31-7. So they have Anthony Edwards and Collier. Wow, absolute dogs, man. And Tatum's on the Pistons. So, okay, interesting. He goes on to win the championship. All right, we got one more offseason to get this right. Now, I think the biggest thing for me is getting a new coach. Now, I don't have anything against Steve Clifford, but I just feel like a new coach is just going to fix a lot of things. As far as our pick is concerned, I really don't care. We have the 26th pick. It does not matter to me. So, Steve Clifford, you've done a fantastic job, but I'm just going to go ahead and get Tyronn Lue. Let's go for Tyronn Lue. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get him. I may not have enough money. So, I'm going to offer him and someone else as well. So, is there anybody else I know for sure I can get? Adrian Griffin's ratings aren't great. Steve Clifford, we just fired. Nick Nurse. I would go for Nick Nurse as well, but we don't have a ton of money. But we'll see if we can get one of them. So, Quinn Snyder also I would love, but I doubt I can get him. So, we're going to make 3 offers. I might strike out on all 3, but at least we're out here trying. Frank Vogel, Bickerstaff. I mean, I could feel good about any of them. Michael Malone. Let's see if we can. I doubt we get any of them. So, yeah, they're all going to decline me. So, unfortunately, we strike out on all the head coaches. Jacob Underwood has good ratings. So, I'm going to go ahead and offer him, I guess, and see if he's going to sign. So, we get Jacob Underwood. No badges, but he has great ratings, so hopefully that works out for us. And then Wing Whisper, we'll go ahead and grab this. And I don't know if I'll be doing much this offseason. The main thing is we have to re-sign Jarrett Allen. So in the draft, we went ahead and selected Corey Barrett with a late pick. No idea if this guy is real or not. I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's not. But he's a 75 overall right out of the draft, which is nice. So Brandon Miller, Buzelis, Nick Smith, we're accepting. Qualifying offers, Mark Williams, definitely somebody I want to bring back. And then, as I said, Jarrett Allen is the big expiring contract that we got to figure out. So Jarrett Allen, Mark Williams, PJ Washington, also unrestricted. So, I wouldn't mind not bringing back. Wow, Jarrett Allen wants an absolute freaking bag, bro. I don't think there's a world where he ever gets this. I guess actually, what is this? What year are we in right now? 20, whatever. I mean, I guess it's possible players are making this much money at this time and centers are getting paid this. But man, this is a bag that we have to throw at Jarrett Allen. But we traded for him, so I'm not gonna let him, walk for nothing. That'd be dumb. So. We're going to resign Jarrett Allen. I'm going to see if I can get us a different power forward than PJ Washington. It looks like it's going to let me. So system match. Right now, we have a grit and grind system. We might as well just bring back the continuity in PJ Washington, honestly. So yeah, I think I'm just going to resign PJ Washington. Once we move this system, it'll be fine because I'm not going to run a grit and grind. So PJ Washington, we're going to sign, and then we're going to bring back Mark Williams. Wow, this is a lot of money to commit to it. Actually, he can go back as qualifying offer because paying a combined 60 million to your center position is crazy. I know Minnesota's doing that, but I cannot get on board with that. So guard spot, we just drafted the guard as well who could actually contribute right away. We definitely need a backup small forward, so let's see if we can get that here. So Josh Okogie as a 3-and-D wing, or even Christian Brown, who I saw here as well. I'm going to sign him instead. So we're going to sign Christian Brown. We're going to get him and Mark Williams back on his qualifying offer, and boom, $11 million. That's looking a lot better. So Buzelis does not move very much at all. So him not developing doesn't help anything, but I think it's fine. We'll see if it works out. Maybe we stop at the deadline to move him. We'll see. But I think we're going to just basically run it back with the same rotation and just kind of see how things go with the new head coach. So at the end of this season, things went really well, and this is our final season here. So 58-24, so I decided not to make any changes. We went 13-1 to start the season, so I was like, okay, things are off to a firing start. We don't have any All-NBA first team representatives, but LaMelo makes All-NBA second team. Here's your All-NBA third team, offensive first team, and all defensive second team as Alonzo Ball makes it. But we are the first seed in the Eastern Conference, which is why I was comfortable not making any moves at the deadline. Brandon Miller stepped up big time, averaging 28 points per game. So again, we wanted Brandon Miller to make people forget that, obviously they chose Brandon Miller over Scoot, and I think he's done a fantastic job, at least in the 2K sim, obviously. 28 and then almost 28 from LaMelo, so feeling really good about this, and we got a bunch of contributing scores across the board as well. So let's see if we can come out here and beat whoever we get to play. So it is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers, who have Joel Embiid. They have Jalen Madsen playing at the point guard. They still have Maxey, Byron Fletcher. I'm not very intimidated by the 76ers roster. Clint Capella is hurt for them, so obviously centers are really important in 2K, but man, I'm going to feel some type of way if we lose to Philadelphia in round 1, and we are going to beat them in 5. LaMelo gets a hyperextended knee, but thankfully it's only day-to-day. Now, the Pistons did pick up Jason Tatum, so that sucks, but LaMelo should be back soon. So, yeah, it's Kate Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Tatum. We took care of the Pistons earlier. It looks like Jalen Duren might be hurt, or they might have let him go, which they always seem to do that. I don't know why. Alex Sarr. So they're starting a 71 overall center instead. Still have a Sarr Thompson as well. Game 1, LaMelo is fully healthy, and we are going to win game 1. So off to a great start there. They even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4, Buzelis gets hurt. Only day-to-day, though. 3-1. Do we make it to the conference finals? We do. Let's go, man. Let's freaking go. Okay. Now I get to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. So obviously we made the trade with them earlier. They still have Miles Bridges. They have Zubac. I meant to move Mobley to center for them, but I forgot. So, sorry. But regardless, we got McGowan's, of course, so we traded to them. So, let's see if we can come out here and win this Eastern Conference Finals and get to the NBA Finals. We're down 1-0. We are going to even it up, though. So, here we go. Here goes nothing, man. Everyone on our rotation's on fire right now, which is a great sign. Game 3, 2-1. This is a big game 4. We're going to go down 3-1. So, we may not win a championship today with the Hornets unless we're able to come back from a 3-1 deficit, which is going to be very, very unfortunate. But we're not done just yet. It looks like we might be able to win this one to force a game 5. So that's great. Or this would be game 6. My apologies. So game 6 in Cleveland. If we can win this one, things get interesting. Now, can we do it, though, is the question. Looks like we're going to be out of it unless we come back to the very end and we slowed down there. So momentum was kind of going our way for a second, but unfortunately for us, we are not going to be able to win with the Charlotte Hornets today in this video. Quite unfortunate. So 100 to 113 in the year of 2027. We go all the way to the conference finals. We drop short to the Cavaliers, Garland, and then you got the Rockets as well on the other side, and the Cavs going to win the championship. So that will be how this one ends. We got the Charlotte Hornets all the way to the conference finals, but unfortunately we fell short. Do I run it back another year, though? Am I giving up too early? I might be giving up too early. You know what? We're gonna run it back one more year. Let's go one more year. Everyone's almost under contract. Now we are gonna resign Brandon Miller. Mark Williams is gonna have to get paid as well, so that's gonna be tough. But I think we give this one more season. I think there's a great shot at maybe next year is our year. So in this final season, no matter what happens here, I will not be running it back another year, even though I said this last year. But taking a look at the stats to end things off, LaMelo with 28, Brandon Miller with 27, 17 from Nick Smith Jr., 14 from Jarrett Allen, 13 from Lonzo Ball, 12 from Mark Williams, and then 12 from Corey Barrett, my apologies, and Buzelis with 11, who's up to an 80 overall. So here we go. We're playing the Atlanta Hawks in round 1. They have Colin Sexton, no longer have Trae Young, so I guess Atlanta lost Trae Young. So if we lose to them, I'm going to be pretty darn upset, and we are going to beat them in 4. So take care of business there. Do we walk away with any injuries? We do not. And now we draw the Indiana Pacers round 2 of Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Lenny Purdue, Jared Vanderbilt, DeAndre. And so Aiden finally ends up in Indiana, and Ronald Holland is up to an 83 overall. Looks like they have Drummond, who's hurt maybe, or he's just down that bad. We shall see if we could beat them. Somebody come around, and we're going to take care of them as well. And now we run into the team that actually, no, we beat Detroit, didn't we? So, ooh, they lost Tatum as well, unless he's just hurt. No, he's hurt. Wow, that is a big break for us. So if we can't beat the Pistons when Tatum is hurt for them, he's out 1 to 2 weeks. We have to take care of business. Somebody current round, and we're going to beat them in 5. We're in the finals. Let's go. So now we get to play the Timberwolves, and well, they have Collier and Edwards. So here goes nothing. Middleton, Cat, Edmund Jackson is their starting 5. No longer Rudy Gobert. Somebody current round has been working. So you know what? We're going to click it again, and we're going to see if this works out for us. And we are going to go up 3-2 on them. So here we go with the game 6. Here we go, man. Can we come out here and beat the Timberwolves to win our 2nd championship in NBA 2K24? Continue the streak here. I almost gave up last year, but we ran it back. And it looks like it may have paid off, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it did. Let's go. So glad we ran it back another year. I almost gave up last year. You guys are probably comment down below, man, run it back, and you know what? I did it. Let's go. So I'm going to jump in. We can all watch the championship celebration. Thank you guys for watching, as always. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.